I'd like to talk about Azure Data Studio. Azure Data Studio is a lightweight, cross-platform database tool based upon Visual Studio Code. It runs on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. It includes a SQL editor with IntelliSense, keyword completion, code snippets, code navigation, and Git source control integration. Now, although SQL Server Management Studio will still remain the champion for database administration tasks, such as security management, importing and exporting DAC packs, and using performance tuning advisors and dashboards, I believe that for developers, and especially Mac and Linux users, Azure Data Studio is going to be the go-to tool for doing your SQL tasks. Now, as of March 2019, Azure Data Studio will connect to SQL Server 2014 and higher, Azure SQL Database, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Azure SQL Managed Instance, and PostgreSQL servers. One of the newest and I think more notable features that has been added to Azure Data Studio is its ability to create a SQL notebook. Now, notebooks are the type of document that can combine formatted text with live code elements, images, and query results. You may have heard of them as Python Jupyter notebooks. Well, now they can be used with SQL in addition to other programming languages such as Python, Scala, and R. So open up Azure Data Studio, select New Notebook from the File menu, and you've created a notebook. If you add a code cell or a section for code, you can enter SQL code, then execute it. Be sure to check that the kernel is set to SQL and that the connection is pointing to the database that you want to work with before running the code. I'd hate to have you accidentally run code in production when you thought that you were deleting things from development server. The IntelliSense in the Azure Data Studio will simplify code entry, and the right-click menu offers some excellent options, including formatting the document, changing all occurrences of a selected word, and taking a peek at the definition of the selected SQL object, such as a table or stored procedure. Great for helping you figure out what additional code you want to write, or you can copy and paste snippets from this peeked definition to make sure that everything that you want to include has been included. Now, one thing I like about these notebooks is that they're great for presentations. It's fairly obvious what the use case would be. I can prepare a notebook to show in my presentations with code and results combined in a very convenient package. And it also helps when I need to establish a workflow in my demos that attendees can repeat at home when they download the demos in this notebook. Now, for troubleshooting scenarios, the interesting feature is the ability to include results inside the notebook files. So you can create an empty notebook, add a bunch of queries to it and instructions, send it to your client, and make them run the queries, then return it to you with the results populated. For this particular usage scenario, the first thing that came to my mind is running the diagnostic queries in a notebook and then saving them for, say, baseline information, so that when I run it the following month, I can see what has changed and what hasn't changed. If you would like to discuss Azure Data Studio or have questions on Azure, click the link below for more information, and we will be happy to discuss it further with you.